Making things again. Liz Wade and Colin Lauder look at the market movement, maker movement. In this movement, people invent and fix things instead of throwing them away. Have you ever had a problem? You are a person, so of course you have. Maybe maybe your motorbike would not start. Maybe you needed to fix the toilet. Maybe you did not know how to download something from your smartphone. All people have problems. But what was the first thing you did to solve your problem? If you can connect to the internet, one of the first things you probably did was search there for an answer. There, you can find information and videos to help you with almost any problem. These how-to videos are very popular. That is because more and more people are interested in doing things themselves. More people are become interested in growing, making, and fixing things. This growing interest is known as the maker movement. Today's spotlight is on the maker movement. The maker movement includes a lot of different people and ideas. It includes people working independently to invent, create, or design. Makers are the people who design and create their own clothes or grow their own food. Many makers look at things in the world and say, I could make that. Or they may say, I think I could make that better. Or they dream of something they wish existed. And they when they do it, do not finish it. Do not find it. They try to create it. People have always made things. Ancient people made baskets, bows, and tools. One generation of people taught to the next. Parents taught children. This was how people shares knowledge, experience, and wisdom to each other. But things started to change. Machines made it easier to grow food, so fewer people needed to work on farms. So they moved to cities. They found work in factories, but then factories started to use machines. It start it started to cost less money to buy a new thing than to fix an old one. People began to forget how to grow food, create things, or fix things when they broke. And many people are tired tired of this. They do not want to throw things away. They want to be able to fix things that break. They want to grow their own food. They do not want to depend on factories or stores. They want to use knowledge and skills instead of spending money. In this way, the maker movement is kind of return to way things used to be. The maker movement includes traditional work like weaving clothes, making things out of wood, and growing their own food. But it also uh, accepts and uses new technologies. Computers are now much less frightening to people than they used to be. More people understand how they work. Children learn to write code for computers in school. The internet provides training and a way to connect to other makers. People in the maker movement come together to make things. Maker fairs are gathering of these people. They spend a few days together talking, planning, inventing, and solving problems. These fairs begin in the United States, but have spread to every continent. For example, in 2016, there was a maker fair in Shenzhen, China. At the fair, people taught wooden knife making, drawing, and how to build a robot out of Lego building bricks. There was even a clothes fashion show. Most of the clothing was wearable technology. It had built-in computers, lights, and body sensors. Other kind of gathering of makers is called repair cafe. People bring their broken things to repair cafes. The cafe has tools and supplies to fix things. There are also experts who offer to teach people how to fix what they have brought in. But whenever possible, people must to do the work themselves. Repair cafes begin in uh, Amsterdam, but have also spread around the world. There are repair cafes in Europe, in Egypt, Kenya, Ghana, Thailand, Brazil, Germany, Argentina, Azerbaijan, China, and many other countries. And the maker movement is still growing. It is even starting to change education. Some schools are creating maker spaces. In these spaces, children can invent, combine, and discover. Jean Tinvin is a teacher in New York, in the US. His school, his students do not just sit and listen to him talk. In the maker space, they do things. He told us Scholastic website. It has had a most empowering effect on students of any of courses that I have taught. Students are talking the experiences from this class and using them in all their classes. Experts say that any school can be a makerspace like this. They do not need high cost equipment or supplies. They can use paper, broken toys, string, clay, or tap. Any materials will work. Students just have to make things. But schools are not the only places interested in the maker movement. Some big businesses also try to use the maker movement to sell more products. The clothing company Levi's sells millions of pairs of blue jeans around the world. Many people do not consider them to be part of the maker movement, but Levi's tries to find people who are making creative things. Then they put these things on their website. Big businesses like this to tell the stories of these makers. People like the stories to buy more clothing. This way, they try to seem like more the part of the maker movement, even if they are making clothes in the big factories. Many people do not want to just using things and throw them in the garbage. They want to use their hands. They want to learn. They want to be independent and in control. Tim Brazin wrote about the maker movement for the Time magazine. He wrote, "The more I look into it, the more I believe that maker movement is very important to Americans' future. It may be able to turn more and more people into makers instead of just people who are using things. I know from history that when you give makers in the right tools and good ideas, they can change the world. Do you like to learn new things? Do you like to create and repair? Tell us what you think. You can leave a comment on our website.